everyone, I'm Melissa, the Everyman driver. Today I have Dave in the passenger seat with me from Everyman driver, and we are driving a 2016 Mazda CX-5, brand new.
Less than 1,000 miles on it.
Brand new, still got that new car smell.
Sure does. This is an athletic looking compact crossover.
I definitely think that's accurate, yes.
It's got that all-wheel drive with it. It does come in front-wheel drive as well, and a couple different engine options. How do you feel about the power behind this? Because this is the more powerful of the two engines.
Yeah, I feel it still leaves something to be desired, I guess. But the gas mileage on this is great, so that's the typical trade-off. The gas mileage is incredible.
Yeah, 6-speed automatic transmission for this tester here. A manual is available. So 24 miles per gallon city, 30 on the highway.
Yep.
And even in your dial right there, what does it say for your average?
25.1 right now, but again, we put these cars through their paces, and you took it on off-road review, so. And
we're still getting great mileage.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I found the gas and the brake pedal to be somewhat unresponsive. I don't know, maybe it's the opposite of touchy. It's like you really have to press the sucker down, and I don't know if it's just me. I'm not sure.
Tell me the example you experienced.
Yesterday I was driving it, and I pulled out of my driveway, and I pressed on the brakes, and it just was delayed, like a delayed reaction. It was kind of strange, and there was a car coming, so it was one of those moments where you're like, the awkward wave. Sorry about this.
Right.
I think the interior on this car is very nice with the leather seating. It has a very upscale feel to me, and it feels quality, not plasticky in any way. Do you like this interior? Oh
yeah, and the leather wrapped steering wheel that you have there with all the usual suspects for the mounted controls. Pretty easy to figure out. Even that adaptive cruise control, or that what do you call that one on the far right?
It's actually called speed adjusting radar cruise control.
Okay.
So it'll slow down if you're coming up hot on someone, as I like to say. If you're coming up hot from behind, it'll brake for you automatically.
Insert your joke right there. The instrument cluster, the big 3 dials right there with the all the variety of information on the far right, and the usual on the left in the center.
Yeah, straightforward and clean looking. I have mentioned this before in reviews of Mazdas, but it has this little dial down here, and I don't really find it that convenient, but I guess some of the more upscale cars have this little dial down here to control the infotainment center, and it's growing on me, I guess. I'm starting to like it a little bit more, so.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different things you have to do to navigate, and right now it's on the radio. You have to turn over to one side, turn over one dial, press the button, and then go between channel lists, and then a back button. I don't know. It's just one too many steps. Maybe it's two too many steps.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a little bit more convenient if you just had the dials right here.
I want to talk about that touchscreen element, though.
Yes, that's pretty snazzy, isn't it?
Well, the touchscreen only is a touchscreen when you're stopped or in park. You are forced to use the dial down below when you're driving. Right.
That makes sense in this car particularly, because the screen is far enough away that you can't really reach it safely with your hands on the wheel. So I think it makes sense for this car, and it's a nice feature. But again, if you don't prefer this little dial down here, it's kind of awkward.
I never thought of it that way, as the distance, and that's a good point. I'll think about that next time.
Yeah. I think for me, I mean, if I'm reaching out here, I can't reach it without leaning forward, and it's not really safe. You shouldn't be doing it anyways. The only thing that you're going to be changing, I guess, is volume, which is very conveniently located on the steering wheel, or the channel or something like that. So that's all convenient.
Elaborate now on some of the safety features.
Okay, so I already mentioned the speed adjusting radar cruise control. There's also collision mitigation braking system in this car, which means, again, you're coming up hot on someone from behind, this car will automatically brake for you. So in just stop and go type of traffic situation, it will do that. So cruise control, it'll slow down for you if you're coming up behind someone. Also, just driving in regular traffic, there's cross traffic alert for parking assistance, and there's also blind spot monitoring.
Now, what I like about the blind spot monitoring, you have a number of different warnings.
Yes.
One is in the instrument cluster, and it beeps. there's also one in the mirror. It lights up.
And if you notice when we were backing out of our lunch destination, the cross traffic alert was going off, which sometimes I feel like it panics, you know?
Yeah.
Like, beep, 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 beep. But it shows up on the screen here, and it beeps at you, so there's an audible beep and a visual alert, which is kind of nice, but it kind of goes overboard because you're like, what's behind me? You know, you start panicking.
Well, in that case, the backup camera shows up, but there were no vehicles driving. It just showed like there was one that had a longer tail, like I think maybe in a truck that was to one side, so it recognized that, and they gave us a beep.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've had beeps going on when there's been no motion.
Yes.
But I like the safety feature because then you know, I got to be careful on how hard I turn on this.
Right, yeah. It's definitely nice. I mean, more and more, obviously, these new cars are going to add these really awesome features, and I think it's just moving to be a safer vehicle. Every new car is going to be safer. It's really convenient, especially if you are afraid of backing out of parking spots, which I'm kind of timid sometimes. I don't want to, you know, I'm very cautious of people around me and behind me.
So pros and cons, we talked about the good look on the outside and inside. One of the cons that I've read about and I've experienced as well is visibility. And I'd love to hear your perspective right now as you look over your shoulder or try to see behind you. What do you think, visibility wise?
Well, I guess I don't think that it does have quite a blind spot back there, right? But that's probably why they added in all the extra safety features, just, you know, for a more cautious drive. But it does have quite a big post back there in the very back.
Some of the vehicles that compete or are rivals with this CX-5 in this compact crossover segment, the Honda CR-V, Ford Escape, Jeep Cherokee, not Grand Cherokee, but Cherokee, RAV4, and the Subaru Forester. And I think I've done the CR-V, just the CR-V so far off-road, and I've done this one off-road, and actually I think maybe the CR-V might be a little bit better.
Really, yeah. I do like the Honda CR-V. I'm a fan of Honda though, so.
That's okay to be a fan of it. It's still, you can still be unbiased, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This car is pretty fun to drive though. I mean, I would call it hot and saucy.
Hot and saucy.
Yeah, you gotta say it like that too. Hot and saucy. So what's the name of the color on this car? Because I think it looks just gunmetal gray to me, but they have this super elaborate name.
Titanium Flash Mica.
Aren't they getting a little wordy with those names? I mean, can't you just call it gunmetal gray? They have to have all these trademark names.
I don't know what's trademarked, but it's like a font.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to have your own style, your own little twist to something, and
right.
So, Titanium Flash Mica, saucy.
Saucy, hot and saucy. I kind of like the name of the color, I guess, because it inspired the name for the car that I decided to give it, which is Andromeda.
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 The password is Andromeda. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, time for me to give you a little plug. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I will have a detailed driving review on my channel, so you can visit that anytime to see what I experience. Also, an off-road driving review in this vehicle. And I always do a just arrived, first impressions, spontaneous walk around too, and I did that on this car. And, those are all probably live right now when you're watching this on Melissa's channel. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, let's talk about the MSRP because we didn't talk about that. So the base model of this car starts at just over 24,000.
Okay, that's the base.
So we're testing this car at 29,500, correct?
And there is a couple of optional pieces of equipment on this, pretty minor in prices except for their tech package, which has the navigation, LED headlights, adaptive front lighting, and some other running lights. So when it's all said and done, this is just under 34.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it has a few other extras on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I have for now. This is just a brief review, but I'll look for your detailed review and zoom, motherfucker. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Melissa, the Everyman driver, with Dave, the Everyman driver. He's obsessed with me. Look at how he looks at me. So subscribe to my channel so we can see each other more often. Bye.